I hope you illuminated to hear her since you talked there.
Study lab concept.
They just won't be able to hear about it. But they will. They will.
Organization and management. So join us each and every month at
You
9
take it
a.m.
off of the speaker.
Eastern Standard.
I'm taking your friends and the audio. Because how would they be able to hear it? How would they be able to hear it? Who? What? Yeah. They've been watching. They have their own microphone. The computer has a microphone. Is that what you're thinking about? Yeah. I will play and watch this. Hmm? you over with me.
On our beloved Malcolm X. But we are going to dig a little deeper tonight. We want to know what exactly he stood for. Many of us know the story of Malcolm Shabazz. So let's go ahead and read a little bit more about him tonight. Okay? We know that he was involved in black nationalism. It was a political and social movement prominent in the 1960s and early 70s in the United States among some African Americans. The movement, which can be traced back to Marcus Garvey's Universal Negro Improvement Association, to acquire economic power and to infuse among blacks a sense of community and group feeling. Many adherents to black nationalism assume the eventual creation of a separate black nation by African Americans as an alternative to being assimilated by the American nation, which is predominantly white. Black nationalists sought to maintain and promote their separate identity as people of black ancestry. So we're going to start right there, and we are going to listen to a clip of Malcolm Shabazz.
In order for you and me to devise some kind of method or strategy to offset some of the events or repetition of events that have taken place here in Los Angeles recently, we have to go to the root. We have to go to the cause. The condition itself is not enough. And it is because of our effort toward getting straight to the root that people oftentimes think we're dealing in cases. We are oppressed. We are exploited. We are downtrodden. We are denied not only civil rights, but even human rights. So the only way we're going to get some of this oppression and exploitation away from us or aside from us is come together against the common enemy. Who taught you to hate the texture of your hair?
are back, and I hope you were able to hear that clip excerpt from YouTube. And we know tonight we are talking about Malcolm X, and we will be highlighting some of his excerpts. And we are also have a special guest. So we're going to play a short station break, and we'll be right back after this station break.
Okay, when it's our turn to talk, we turn off speaker and mute. So they won't get echo via speaker and they can hear us with mute off.
Okay, good. You're the sound man. You're the sound person. Sound technician.
Every Tuesday from 7 to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time as we explore relationship topics.
Mostly the
what we didn't know, what we
technician
learned,
for most
and
of
what
the
we
things
need
that
to
we
know
do.
and why.
Yeah, that's
Because
true.
on this show, it's all about courtship and marriage.
That's why I'm glad that you're going to school and learning and getting good grades and paying attention, learning things in there. You're very valuable. You help me in
All
everything.
right, so we are back, and tonight we are highlighting Malcolm X. We are still referencing African American history, and we know that that is very important and relevant because if we don't know where we came from, we're not going to be able to really know where we need to go. So we want to make sure that we are highlighting all of our African American history and not just a part of it. We're going to go ahead and bring on our special guest, our brother Abdul Shahid. We have welcomed him back. He is an excellent guest, and by popular demand, he is back with us tonight. So without further ado, we're going to bring him in. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam, sister. Yes, ma'am. I have some notes here, so let me uh, go by my notes because I felt that these points were very important. So I want to share these with the public. Also, in these notes, you will hear exactly what you just asked for. You will hear about the ministry that I started and what the aim of the ministry is. Okay. Malcolm X, national speaker for the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Contact with Elijah Muhammad is what reformed the life of Malcolm. That contact brought out the excellence that was in Malcolm. Street life, popular culture are very hard habits to break. Most people are not strong enough to break those habits on their own. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad inspired Malcolm to break those habits and reform himself. Yes, Malcolm X had a natural urge to do better, to live for rightness, to live for justice. When he heard that contact with the Honorable Elijah Muhammad and fastened onto it, he was greatly inspired. I'm going in and out. Okay. Yes, I can hear you very good. Oh, my son was holding the phone for me. Maybe that's why I was back and forth. Am I coming through better now? Oh, okay. Uh, okay, we stopped there at the point where Malcolm was inspired by the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Okay, now, what you may not have heard me say a few moments ago is that it was the contact of Malcolm with the Honorable Elijah Muhammad that brought reformation to his life. In line with that, the Proud Muslim Prison Ministry seeks to build pride, confidence in us as human beings. And how? How do we hope to achieve that? With new knowledge, new language, new understanding. The Proud Muslim Prison Ministry does not teach only simple rituals. Of course, like the 5 pillars of Islam, they are rituals. They have to be practiced. But more important than that, they have to be understood. That is our purpose, to teach the great importance of each, to teach the people what the Quran teaches us, how to think. Brother Malcolm X once said that prison can be one of the best places in the world for learning if the prisoner is dedicated. The Proud Muslim Prison Ministry teaches how to be dedicated. For instance, those 5 pillars of faith for Muslims. One, belief in the greater, the more important. That's God, isn't it? Two, prayer, communication with that source. Three, zakat, charity, social welfare, social well-being. Four, fasting, self-discipline, learning self-restraint. Five, and Hajj, making the trip, the homeward bound trip to God. The Proud Muslim Ministry teaches truth. We don't hold back. We are polite, we are honorable, but we teach truth. That true. One of the truths of this world is, people, there are individuals, groups who scheme, who come up with traps. They operate as principalities. And the Holy Bible says we fight against principalities. Their aim is to keep us, the common people, from growing as human beings. Uh, they teach ethnicity based upon skin color, race. But that knowledge, that science that we talked about in the sacred Quran, and yet also taught, give respect, decency to other human beings. Malcolm, in the autobiography of Malcolm X, Brother Malcolm stated that one of the most respected people that he knew of was the son of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, Wallace D. Muhammad. He said in his book, Malcolm said, that it was Wallace who told him the only thing he could see as the answer for our situation in America was to fully, truthfully accept the religion of Al Islam. People, that was before what we now know of, what public knows as the conversion of Malcolm into Orthodox Islam. Do you see my point? How he was influenced? That's where we are today. That's where we look at Brother Malcolm and see that his heart, his mind was headed for a day just like this that we are living in now. Power as true, believing, powerful, knowledgeable human beings. The Proud Muslim Prison Ministry is dedicated to uplifting those men and women that are behind bars, letting them see that, hey, we can be much, much better than the positions that this world has given us to hold. And I'll end by sharing this with you. Remember a moment ago I spoke about people who set traps, schemes for the public? People, be aware. What is the aim of the popular culture nowadays? What is their aim in now all of a sudden backing up Malcolm, giving him to us, to the public? When he was alive, they didn't do it. We have to be smart. We have to be intelligent. Why do you think there are such things as the young African American musician that what football game halftime show or his latest musical release? The whole world was given a picture of that young man being sodomized by the devil. Why is it? How is it that people can give us the world a halftime show with two women of color having movements, dry sex, in front of the whole wide world? We have to be smart, people. Let us go to our books of scripture, whether you be a follower of the Holy Bible or of the Sacred Quran. Get into your knowledge, learn it, go into it with heart, mind, and soul. Believe in it and follow it. Yes, ma'am, Sister Khalid.
And yes, if we don't know who we are, someone else will tell us, and they will define that for us. And we'll be living out the life that they designed for us. So it is extremely important that we know who we are as individuals and as community, because if not, we're not going to be able to do the work that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created us to do. So that's why it's so essentially important for us to know our history. We have to know where we came from. And I'm a firm believer in that, to know where we need to go. And also to know, as you said, the traps that have been set up. This is nothing really, there's nothing new under the sun. If we look back and study history, it's easy to find the things, the tactics that were used in civilization. There were different things that they used for war. There were different things that they used to control population. I mean, these things are documented in history repeatedly, and it seems like people are just shocked at what the possibilities are and what people are able to do without the blink of an eye. But if you look at history, history will tell you what has happened previously, and Allah says that He destroyed nations that were much greater than ours because of immoral, indecent living, thinking, and worshiping false gods. They thought it was all about Hollywood and the bling bling, so to speak. They didn't have Hollywood back then, but they had 100% natural everything.
Yeah.
Gold. We talked about 14 carats. They had the access to it. They had everything. They had built, if you look back into the ancient civilizations, they had homes made of gold, solid gold. They were rich, wealthy, beyond measure, and they were even more intelligent
Yes, ma'am.
Brother Abdul Shahid, I want to make sure that our listening audience knows exactly who you are and what you do. So I'm going to go ahead and highlight your bio again. I know you were here with us twice recently, but we want to go ahead and highlight that. Okay?
Yes, ma'am. Go-
So, Brother Abdul Shahid first wrote his first letter to Honorable Elijah Muhammad asking to become a Muslim in 1973 and was accepted in 1975. When W.D. Muhammad, Rahimahullah alayhi, was chosen as a leader by the people, he began studying Islam preached by him. In 1989, he began learning to read and write the Quran in its language. In 1995, he proudly read the entire Quran in her original language for the first time. In 2000, he became active in the Kaleem In 2013, he began going to the Texas prison system as a volunteer instructor of the Al Islam religion. In 2014, he filed the legal documents necessary to form Proud Muslim Prison Ministry as a body. Texas state law requires that he be trained or retrained every 2 years concerning regulations. Allah has blessed him to continue teaching and sharing as the ministry. He has contacted many prison units and he asked the prison administration for permission to come to their unit and address the inmates. The prison staff has been very open to the ministry. He is now in Texas State, approved to volunteer, conduct religious service and classes at prisons anywhere in the state. In 2022, he has established ongoing religious classes at Gatesville, Texas prison. He conducts Friday congregation prayer and he conducts Eid festival prayer. He volunteers at male prisons and female prisons. Males are more focused on the rituals of the religion, while the females are more focused on learning on the why of the religion. Prisoners, male and female, need more Arabic and English Qur'ans and books on Al Islam, the history, etc. The ministry needs volunteers who will be guest workers, any person who is law abiding and active in the religious community of their own city or town. Female volunteers are especially needed by the ministry to work with female prisoners. The ministry is legally allowed to have guests for 4 services. After that, the person must take the Texas state training and become an approved volunteer. Proud Muslim Prison Ministry, Saudi Al Islam, and the Texas system can be reached at Post Office Box 1692, Killeen, Texas 76540. So, alhamdulillah, Brother Abdul Shahid, we thank you and honored, we thank you and we honor you for being here tonight, and we are very respectful and regardful of what you do. So we want you to give us an update on any new occurrences at the prison system, or what are you currently working on with the inmates, inshallah.
Yes, ma'am. The latest thing that is in motion, just yesterday or the day before, I got an email from my Muslim uh, chaplain. There is, I believe the number now is four. The state of Texas has four Muslim chaplains, but of course, as you can probably think of, they're spread very thin. Only four for the entire state, so they depend on us volunteers to help them out. He contacted me and he let me know that so far, even with the COVID situation as it is right now, which seems to be going down, the Texas state prison system right now is giving us the go ahead that we will be able to celebrate Eid after the sacred month of Ramadan. The prisoners will be able to celebrate it. For the past 2 years, of course, because of the COVID, we have not been able to take them food in uh, for the feast afterward. For those listeners that may not be aware of what happens, what I'm talking about as far as Ramadan and feast, the Muslims, we are required once a year to go on a 30-day fast. That fast is in the ninth month called Ramadan. We fast for 30 days, 30 nights. On the 30th, then after the fasting, we have a feast. What we do is we gather food, we gather donations uh, from people and from relatives of prisoners. We gather the money donations. We go to the food stores like Walmart, Pizza Hut, etc., etc. We buy the food. We transport it to the prisons. And believe me, those men and women, they love it. they love. It's a time to relax, so it's good. Yes, ma'am. Go ahead.
Okay, we're going to go to Alhamdulillah. You keep serving those great meals and Allah will bless you. And that's been a good example of how dawah can really change people's lives.
Yes,
We're
ma'am.
reflecting on Iman Abu Shahid and also Brother Malcolm X.
Yes, ma'am.
So we're going to go to 504 451, Brother Bilal. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to the narrative aspiration.
Assalamu alaikum. Thank you to Allah for what I do, Shaheed, and what you're doing, Allah. Continue to bless them. Most of us, I hope I'm thinking it right here, but most of us, we come to that same system that Malcolm came to. They just incarcerated out in the scheme that they get doing. So praise be to Allah for extra exact work and that was high speed survive. Praise be to Allah.
Alhamdulillah.
I'd like to share. So you believe we are doing the job keep the means of approach to him prescribed with might and main in his call. How are we special? Is it because we are rational? What happened to us in America that made us special? Is it something good? Well, let me tell you exactly what we know. We don't want to be misunderstood and take a focus of the direction in our little results. Cause and effect. What is our effect? Can we clean up this world's mess? So far, I got nothing for them. Why turn they not to our God and seek it to get them? Our lives are forgiven and merciful. Whenever people in emotion, they are doomed to self-destruction. But identifying and kicking slave habits help us to reach the logical conclusion. And wrong people are aware that things are placed in our lives and their life is a test. Self-destruction is our test. So let's not get upset. But you can make it the best decision with the power of choice to avoid the negative consequences of their decision. But Allah, He's totally aware about the situation. So let's be dedicated to the mission. Now, I had a concern when I write this the form. What was on my mind? I felt that I want to make sure that we don't overplay that the idea that because of all the pain we hear, and we can do so much with that. But if you hear that too much, you'll find out it make us complacent. So I just think we need to be careful about that. I want to always give an honest self-evaluation. But if I had to leave out those the things that I was going through and saying, well, that's not affecting me now. I'm operating like this, and I feel more rational. I feel more like I'm really doing what I was thinking. We got a lot of walking things. And we always wanted protection. We didn't want to change that stuff, and I was hoping this kind of thing.
Walaikum assalam.
Thank you, Brother Bilal, for that excellent reflection of what was going on. Thank you. And may Allah continue to bless you. And what I hear you say is just thinking positive and not always reflecting on the pain that we're experiencing, the problems that we may be going through, but also balance that out and keep your focus on your goals and keep striving to please Allah. And you won't become complacent. You'll be able to continue to move, and it won't take you away. Alhamdulillah. Thank you. Thank you. Well, Steve, if there's a caller who would like to respond to Brother Bilal, you could do that at this time, or Brother Abu Shahid, if you connected or resonated with what he shared, would you please go ahead and share at this time? Thank you, Brother Bilal. Assalamu alaikum.
Yes, ma'am. I think that from what the way I understood what Brother Bilal was saying, that it relates um, directly with this particular verse from the sacred Quran. The particular verse I'm thinking of says that surely with every difficulty there comes ease. We just have to be balanced. We just have to keep focus, as the brother said, keep focus on the idea, knowing uh, the Lord is going to take care of this. Uh, Daylight is just over the horizon. Yes, indeed. Yes, ma'am. Go ahead.
Thank you so much, and thank you, Brother Bilal. You always do. All right, so Brother Abu Shahid, your son, would you like to share anything that you would like to share tonight? I know last time I spoke, and I said that if he came back, he could share something. If he's prepared, or just like to give the salon, whatever he would like to do at this time, that would be appropriate, inshallah.
Yes, ma'am. He's been sitting right here with me all the time. Would you like to give the greetings?
Assalamu alaikum, everybody. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. No, make me very proud. One day he asked me, without any my encouragement of anything. One day he just asked me, he said, "Dad, when will I be able to go with you to the prisons?"
Mm-hmm. Inshallah. So yeah, next is just information on how they can contact you and guidelines for being.
Okay, let me write it down so I can
Every single day,
have it ready.
don't speak out as Jews in support of Palestinian liberation. It's another day too late.
Um,
So guidelines for
This is the first time
for
I'm
the
using my
prison
full real
ministry
name to stand in solidarity with Palestinians.
and information on how they can contact you and support the ministry.
because every single day that we don't speak out as Jews in support of Palestinian liberation is another day too late. I grew up in a Jewish American school system that was explicitly Zionist. I feel like we've all heard stories, but that didn't just make sure we didn't talk about Palestine, but actively taught us not to empathize with Palestinians. And the kind of fear and repression that leads Jews who would say more to be silent is why Israel can continue to do what it's doing. But I'm here to say, for anybody who is scared, that there is no level of explaining away that can make it okay that 30 plus children
This is working. We can mute and put it on speaker when they're talking, so the people. So if we do this, they can hear.
Okay. They'll still hear what we're hearing.
And then turn the speaker and mute off so they can hear us without any echo.
Okay. Yeah, that was my big concern. I didn't want to have that echo, audio echo.
Palestinians are doing every single thing they can to survive. And our duty and our responsibility and our standing is to do every single thing that we can do in solidarity with the Palestinian people.
Alhamdulillah, as you can see, solidarity, unifying, standing together against injustice is what we are speaking about tonight. And we are talking about Malcolm X. Tonight we are highlighting one of our heroes of all time who sacrificed his life for humanity. We are also speaking with Brother Abdul Shaheed, who has a ministry in the prison system, who has taken the time to reach back and dedicated his life to the mission by teaching and sharing Islam and doing dialogue within the prison system. So we are forever grateful to share with for him to share with us tonight what he does. So alhamdulillah, we're gonna not watch and start, we're gonna listen to another excerpt from Malcolm Shabazz. But first, just to make sure we have enough time, we want to go ahead and give our special guest the opportunity to tell us about the guidelines of the prison when it comes to volunteering, and also how we can support him with email addresses, cash app, anything that donating to Ann based off of his bio, prayer rugs, etc. Assalamu alaikum, Brother Abdul Shaheed.
Yes, ma'am. Assalamu alaikum again. The ministry cash app is $Muslim, MUSLIM, PRISON, MINISTRY. That's $Muslim Prison Ministry. No spaces between the words. Our email address, shah33d2011 @hotmail.com. If the person would like to physically send a letter, email it to P.O. Box 1692, Killeen, KILLEEN, Texas 76540. And then I think it's good for me to share with the people, let the people know Proud Muslim Prison Ministry is a non-profit, state-approved, government-recognized agency, organization. Yes, ma'am, sister, go ahead.
And callers, please reach out any way you can to those with that information. And at this time, I'm going to ask you to repeat it again a little slower. I did write down the Cash App, the email address, and the post office box that people can write a letter to you or mail you a physical um, check or have you. So can you please say that again, please, starting with your Cash App information?
Yes, ma'am. Cash App. $ Muslim Prison Ministry. Email address SHAH33D2011 @hotmail.com. Written letters addressed to P.O. Box 1692, KILLEEN, Texas 76540. Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay, so we can probably stay on here until like 7 o'clock. See if anyone has any questions,
Oh, yeah.
and then we should leave since that's the time when they normally start.
Shutting down.
No, the other part of the broadcast.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's right. 'Cause
Remember?
they had a second part.
Mm-hmm.
It was not the statement that originally gave, did it? I tried to move when we split. More personality. You call people like Martin Luther King, who just got a Nobel Peace Prize, an Uncle Tom. Is that correct? First, well, I'd rather say that in the States, with the law, that the decision was in passed, or decision handed down by the court, where in the law, someone an Uncle Tom, they can sue you for libel. Well, I never referred to them as Uncle Tom. I would say that Uncle Mark is my friend. Uncle Mark is your friend, yet you would disagree with his approach to what he wants to accomplish. Definitely. If his approach would bring about what the black man in America needs to completely eliminate the problem that we have, I would say, well and good. But I very much doubt that anyone who adopts the approach that Martin Luther King has been teaching to our people in that country can point to any meaningful gains that has actually served the problem. Black Muslims have sometimes, whether you have or not, and I think probably you have sometimes seemed to me that preaching hate communicates. I don't advocate any kind of hate. There's a lot of talk that sounds very much like it. No, I think that the guilt complex of the American white man is so profound until when you begin to analyze the real condition of the black man in America, instead of the American white man eliminating the causes that create that condition, he tries to cover it up by accusing his accusers of teaching hate. But actually, they're just exposing him for being responsible for what he did. Well, that's something of an argument. But I've heard speeches made by some of the people of your group. I think I've heard you make speeches. It seemed to me that you were advocating what I would have to describe, I think, as violence to me.
Probably stay until the end of
Serious
this.
injuries that have been done.
Probably stay until the end of the.
I don't call that violence. I don't
We should probably
in
stay
any
to the
way
end of this
encourage
recording.
black
Yeah.
people to go out and initiate acts of aggression indiscriminately against whites. But I do believe that the black man remember when the Muezzin was up in a minaret, like today, he cries to the world, there is but one God, and he is Allah. Do you, if you're part of the Christian God, Muezzin does this 5 times a day, 5 times, and I only heard him twice. Well, you were fortunate, there twice. So he does this 5 times a day, and the same God that he says, that he expresses the existence of, is the God that the Christians profess to believe in themselves, and the God that the Jews believe in, one God, the creator of the universe. The Muslims believe in the God that created the universe, and I think the Christians do, and the Jews do. Now, as long as all of them are talking about the creator, the Jews may call him Jehovah, and Christians may have another name for him. Those who are Arabic speaking refer to him as Allah. Well, we believe in the same God. Now,
Family, community, city, state, country, and more.
They really cut it off.
Starts
Like,
with
they really cut it out.
the individual, you. What is the character of
Is that
you?
the next
Are
program?
you a book? Can you be read?
What is that?
Join us every Friday evening at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for a wonderful hour of information being shared by you, with you, for you, and all of us. I am Martha Naya
Maybe it's an
Abdullah,
accident.
and I am
Huh?
your host
Maybe it's an
for
accident.
Community Developmental Space. Again, every Friday evening from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m.
And that's
Be there.
probably automatic.
Mm-hmm. Well, that part seems to be over. I think it's just stopping and about to change to the
For the other sisters program to come in? You think so?
yes.
I think so.
Okay. You hang up while I end the broadcast.
Yeah, I was just gonna give it a second.
Women here on AS360.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
And you're listening to Dr. Vina Ali, your host for this next